coming at you from Scratchin Wolf Studio. It's that time again to rage across the internet, your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. As always, I'm your host, Porter. To my left, we've got Danny Tyson.
Hey, everybody.
And we're doing a little something different this week.
Yeah, different's a good word for it.
Yeah, well, we had a little, we're not giving anybody's business away, but there was a 11th hour kind of emergency thing. Everyone's okay.
Yeah, no problems.
Yeah, no one's on fire, everything's safe, but 11th hour emergency, so we're out a third man today.
And that's fine.
Yeah, we thought we'd give it a shot anyway.
I mean, we have plenty of stuff to talk about. It's always fun to have that third voice in-house, or third voice via interwebs, whatever the case. But
yeah. No, I mean, we prefer the third chair, but, we decided we had the option of either recording nothing and
and being out for a little while.
Well, there were contingencies that we didn't discuss, but I had thought about.
Oh, well, yeah, but we're trying to keep those away. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You're like, no, I see the obvious solution you were thinking about. Is that where you're... Yeah.
I mean, we've said it before. We're going to release some of those old first postmortems.
Yeah, I thought we could do the first 4. But we didn't. So we're trying something different is the point.
And it's not necessary.
No, that's our emergency buffer. Heads up, when those there know that there was a problem.
and there was no recording.
Right.
Ouch.
That's the day we didn't have an episode.
We're going to make something of it today.
Yeah, no, we thought we'd do something different and just fucking hang out and talk some werewolf, talk maybe about the podcast, a little behind the scenes stuff. Just the two of us bullshitting for a bit.
Look, I mean, it's obvious. Porter is one of my closest friends, and him and I will seriously bullshit on the most random of topics, leading to other topics, and you and I could talk for hours.
That's true, and I've seen Danny before, and so...
That's a weird statement, thanks.
Yeah. I'm just trying to return the favor. You come one of your best friends. That was very sweet.
So yeah, I've seen you before.
I'm vaguely familiar with Danny.
Vaguely familiar. Oh my God. We're looking at a close to a 20-year friendship.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we go back.
Yeah. And yeah, that's saying something, because that means we were friends, at least me. I was still a child.
No, yeah, we...
You weren't 18 yet.
Yes, I was. We've talked about this, and we may have talked about this on air.
I don't think we talked about it on air, though.
I'm not sure, but we have discussed this.
I think you were just 18 at that point.
Because I didn't hang out with the boss until my stalker incident. And that wasn't until...
And it wasn't me. Let's just make that clear.
And no, there was like a Fatal Attraction lady once upon a time. That I worked with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we're talking about? I did. That's not a podcast story.
No, it's not a podcast story.
Not a podcast. I could tell it, but no one wants to hear that.
No one wants to hear it. What
anyway,
you've said so far is enough.
Yeah, anyway, I had the stalker lady at work that was just... Like she'd get off work and hang out in the parking lot and wait for me to get off work.
That's messed up.
Right. And that's when we started hanging out. Because I think we were both closing and the boss let her go like 3 hours early to save on hours.
Sure.
And I stayed, and then I stayed a little late because, I was helping him do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we leave and she's out there in the car still.
Still waiting.
So we went and got some Denny's and came back and she was still fucking there.
So you're telling the story anyway.
No, I'm not telling any details.
Okay.
But that's when we started hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And so that had to be like summer 2000.
Right. And you're mentioning the boss, which is a mutual friend of ours who we'll just mention as Chase.
Yeah, he was going to be my second chair in the other podcast.
Right. So, and I've known Chase going on 25 years. So... That's messed up, too.
Well, I've known him like 30, so fuck off.
Whatever. Anyway, the point is, Porter and I have been friends a long time. Very close friends. And the fact that we're doing this podcast together is such a huge deal.
No, I mean, I definitely wouldn't do it without you.
Agreed. I wouldn't do this... I wouldn't do this without you either. I wouldn't do it, period.
No, and it's funny is this is not the first time we have tried to do a two-man show. I don't know if you're aware of this.
No, I'm not.
In the early days, we're talking single digits.
Okay.
Joey and I just recorded one with the two of us.
Oh.
And this is back when we were half-hour episodes.
Right. We did the first 5 episodes in a day.
Yeah. Jesus, can you imagine that kind of output today?
No. No, I can't.
That's a whole day. And we couldn't do it.
What, just not enough to talk about?
No, we just don't have enough time.
Oh, okay.
Like the amount it takes to record an episode today.
Yeah.
Versus back then. There's no way. we can't do 5 episodes in a day. That's not possible.
No, we have a hard time with 2 sometimes.
Sometimes. But at the same time, again, that's the difference between a half-hour episode, which would take maybe 40 minutes to record,
right,
versus an hour-and-a-half episode, which takes 2 to 2.5 hours.
Yes. I mean, there's some setup here, and we make the jokes we'd never edit, and yes, there's editing. And stuff is taken out. Jokes that we know we can't put on air, unfortunately.
Or something will fall flat, or...
Yeah, something.
Shit happens. No, there's plenty of editing that goes on. We just like to joke that there's not. And sometimes we like to leave things in to facilitate that joke.
That happened a lot in the beginning.
Yep.
And again, that was Joey. That wasn't even... I wasn't doing any of the editing then.
No, you didn't start editing for a while, but...
I would help out with, like, one here, one there, and that didn't start till, like, I want to say the 30s, 40s episode numbers.
God, maybe. I mean, it's been so long.
I'm looking at the 50s, somewhere in there where I took over full time.
It's a weekly show, It's like...
Yes.
We say a lot of stuff, and it's 77, 78?
Right now, today would be 79.
Oh, shit, okay, yeah. So, 80 episodes in.
79 episodes in.
Well, like 83.
Oh, yeah, we are missing some.
closer to 83.
At least.
Yeah.
We got to think about how many...
You figure the cursed tribals.
There was like 7 of those.
I know. You figure... So everybody, you're going to get this kind of conversation, this behind the scenes, like you're a fly on the wall for this. So I hope this is enjoyable. Who knows where it's going to go? And if we have an episode that does really poorly one time, well, this was an experiment and we tried it out.
Hey.
But yeah, like in the beginning, Joey and I, we laid one down. I don't even remember the fucking topic.
I was going to say, what could you possibly do for a topic? It's just the 2 of you.
It's a half hour. I can't talk about an aspect of the world for a half hour.
You can talk about any aspect of
yeah,
werewolf.
pick one, and I could talk for a half hour.
Yeah.
And then you add banter and...
But if it was just you and Joey, I can't imagine there was a lot of back and forth.
Well, this is the thing. And I don't remember how it turned out exactly. I don't remember any specifics. But I remember, because, back then we would listen to it.
Right away.
Yeah. Often, not always. Mm-hmm. And, so I was just over there hanging out. We laid one down and went to play it back, and we got bored.
Oh.
Like halfway through, like, I want to do something else.
Can we turn this off and want to go watch a movie?
Like, anything, really? Yeah, it just wasn't good. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't entertaining. And so that's why we made the decision that there has to be a third chair. But...
We've also come a long way.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't. Maybe the dynamic, maybe the day was off, maybe I don't know what. Maybe this is going to suck too. But we'll try it. We're trying something new. Yeah, this is airing no matter what.
We won't have a choice.
Well, if it's that bad.
Well, yeah, okay. I take that back. If it's that bad, we're going to the contingency.
Yep. We're breaking that glass if we have to.
Maybe this will be a Patreon reward.
Oh, maybe.
And on top of the stuff they already get, this is just a bonus, guys.
Don't make extra promises. Man, we might need this as a filler post-mortem at some point then.
Hey, man, some of that post-mortems, especially when we first started,
they weren't post-mortems, it was just extra shit.
Yeah, it was extras. We had no plan on releasing any of that stuff.
No, I mean, we've gone through ideas, stuff that, here was the plan and it just didn't pan out.
No. Nothing special when we first started the extra rewards. We had no idea what the rewards were going to be.
No.
So...
It's like the idea of the behind-the-scenes thing was a cool idea. Like the quote, blooper reel. Mm-hmm. That wasn't really a blooper reel.
No. It was stuff we just wasn't part of the day. Well, it wasn't part of the topic.
It was Joey hitting record when we didn't know she was hitting record. And some of that stuff was funny. Some of that stuff I wish it didn't air.
Oh, I agree. Luckily, only
Yeah, there was only 3 people who heard it.
At the time, we only had 10 patrons.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, not many people heard those early things. So that's good.
Yeah. Heard my rap.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
Raps. Yeah, I rapped 3 times.
Wasn't good. Well, and then there was the one that it was a show meeting.
Right.
I was not thrilled about that.
No, like, we have show meetings on purpose. Like, this is what we need to discuss as a team, not everyone else out in the world who's listening to us.
Well, and like I haven't gone back and listened to it, but I remember there's
And
a
I'm not
section.
going to.
Yeah, neither am I. But there's a section like I'm talking about numbers.
Right.
You know, and like I don't want to.
We're not here to discuss that.
Yeah, like I don't want to talk to. I don't want to talk to the audio, you guys. I don't want to talk to you guys about that. That's not cool. I don't want you guys to hear that stuff.
It was
Doesn't feel right.
No, I remember what you're talking about now. Because I remember hearing it after the patrons got it. Because again, Joey was all Joey.
But yeah, we didn't have a plan in that beginning. You know, I knew I wanted to do the reading of Carry the Weight, which is something I want to post because again, there's so few people heard it, and I don't think enough people go to the forums to read it, and I think it's kind of required. Right? It's so good.
Okay, well, we'll shift to that a little bit because that was such a big deal. I enjoyed that so much that I took over the editing for it.
Yeah, that was like one of your first things.
Yeah,
is you added the sound effects in the beginning and the end.
Yeah, I put like some city sounds to it because, and again, go to the forums and read this. It's such a cool little story, and it's through the eyes of just a Garu in, did it say New York City?
It didn't say the city.
It didn't say, but it's implied like a big city like that.
Yeah, it's a city, probably New York. It doesn't have to be, but yeah.
So he talks about like subway and...
Oh, he did. So
yeah, like sound of ambulances or something like that.
Yeah, and it was just a day in the life. Nothing happened. It was just what goes through his head on the day.
Yeah, on an average day of an average Garu.
Yeah.
It was so... And then your voice as you're reading it. Because you put your own little spin on it. I mean, obviously you're reading the words because, give credit where it was due for whoever wrote the story.
No, written by Lisa Fleischman.
Thank you. I didn't remember. Hoping you did.
Oh, I absolutely did. I hunted. I went to a lot of trouble to make sure I pronounced that name right, and I'm not sure that I still am. I'm not sure, but yeah.
But again, we give the credit where it's due.
Yeah, it was very important to me to make sure I did because my original copy I had saved it from internist.net, and I didn't include the author's information. So I spent a week or so hunting it down and going, it's Lisa Fleischman. Yeah, Fleischman. Okay. I wanted to make sure she got her credit because it's so well written. And again, I think it's almost it should be required reading just to emphasize what goes on through a Garu's head just on the fucking average.
So again, you put a voice to it like it was one of your NPCs.
Yeah.
And you can hear like the anguish in the voice and maybe the disgust. The disgust of the world around him. You can almost feel the rage building up the farther the story goes down.
Well, I tried really hard to give a solid performance to make that, to make it as real as I could.
You know what that means? I mean, now we have to release
ring
it.
The bell.
Well, we have to release it now.
I'm okay with it. I think we do it as a bonus thing. Maybe we put see if we could put the file on the forums or something.
Okay.
We'll figure out how the best way to do that is.
You know what? Even better. Because we also have the Discord. Mm-hmm. We'll figure a way. You come on the Discord, you become one of our new members, and we'll figure a way to get it over to you.
I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. I'm just thinking about what's the easiest, best way to get it to people.
I think email's going to be the best way. But you come over to Discord and you say, hey, I want this. And we'll... It's a thought. It's not a guarantee thing.
Yeah, no, this is just us talking. We do want to release it, though. I mean, it was the first or second
I believe it was
month.
It was either, it was one of the two.
So, like, the 2 or 3 people who were at that tier at the time have had it for a year. It's not a postmortem. I am totally at peace with just releasing it.
Yeah, because if we release a postmortem, you only get the first story. And then there's so much more to that.
Yeah, because that's serialized, so it's a larger issue.
Right. What's the name of that, too? I forgot the name of it.
What?
Story by Lisa Fleischman.
Oh, Blanket of Anger.
Yeah, there's no story behind that. It's its own entity. I don't know. It's worth it.
I think it's good. I was very happy with how it turned out. But, I mean, that was the thing. Like, that was the thing I know I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And that was the end of our plan. And so we had like the behind the scenes what we thought was going to be a blooper reel.
Yes.
It turned out to be like a behind the scenes thing, and it's like, how many of those can you do? And it got to the point where I noticed we were almost trying to manufacture them.
Yeah.
And like,
is she recording this time? I don't know. Let's just start making shit up in case she is.
Right, let's just be wacky in case she's recording.
Yeah, it felt forced.
Right, and then like sometimes when like legitimately, we were having good moments and it wasn't recording.
Right.
And it's like, this is, it's forced. I don't like this. This is dumb. So we went to the postmortems.
That was such a huge deal. I'm so glad we made that decision.
Yeah, I love the postmortem series.
I remember coming up with the suggestion because we were trying to come up with ideas. What can we do? Like, hey, what if we ran all of our own stories? Like, well, why would we run them? We already ran them. No, but we can absolutely talk about them. And we have a ton of stories. If we're going to do this monthly, it's going to be worth it. It will give us filler.
I know what you mean, but I hate to call it filler. I think it's good content.
Okay, fine. Content's a way better word.
Filler's the bullshit we do while we're looking for a point. Or I forgot what I said. Someone tell a dick joke while I remember where I was going with this.
Oh, God.
Dick
jokes aside.
We didn't even make one. I just reference with Jesus Christ. He's policing references now.
But we have that postmortem series, and, we're not we're going to shill for it.
Though you are.
I'm shilling for it, yep. But we have the postmortem series. We want more people to get these. We want you to sign up to be able to hear these, because these are such a big deal.
Well, you know what I mean. And holy shit, happy Halloween, everybody.
Is it?
It's the beginning of the Halloween season.
Okay, October. Got it.
September.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I could fix that.
2 months. You're not gonna.
I know, I'm not going
2 months of Halloween, baby. So happy Halloween, everybody. And yeah, that's the thing, is we're going to, at some point in this month, probably pretty soon, because really it's just dragging our feet, going, oh, well, let's see, do we all agree? Just like, look, this is a 2-minute conversation, and then we do it.
Yes.
Right? So it's just dragging our feet, or being busy, and or lazy, or forgetting, or I don't know what.
All of the above.
Probably, a little bit of all. But that promotion, the catch-up, whatever the catch-up gimmick's going to be.
Yeah, it won't be a gimmick, but yeah, we're going to do, are we doing both sets? The first set of 4, and then...
I mean...
Well, here's my other concern with that.
Yeah.
We're not finished with The Guilty yet.
No, but we're gonna be.
We'll be by...
But we're the ones who are in charge of all of this.
You're right. Yes.
So it's gonna happen when we say it happens, and like... That's it. That's the hoop.
You're right.
It's not even editing.
No, I know.
We just have the files and go here. But yeah, like I don't know. I guess the thing is you don't want to. I don't want anyone to feel ripped off.
That's also a concern.
We talk about as an emergency thing posting the first 4 chapters of the postmortem, and I'm okay with that because it's just the first 4. The first chronicle was just 4 stories.
Still cool stories.
Right, but it's only 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel okay about that. It's 4, that's a month we get off if you do them consecutively, which I wouldn't do them consecutively, I don't think.
No. We'll put an episode out. Next week we'll do a postmortem.
Maybe every other week or something.
Every other week. Can do that.
Well, just because if someone's not digging it, you don't want them to have 4 weeks of I don't want to hear this.
I really hope that they want to hear it, though.
Well, I hope so, too. But again, it's the same reason we did them back-to-back on the Tribals. Is if someone didn't want to hear a Tribal series, then they don't listen for a year. So then they don't listen at all.
I don't know about a year.
How many tribes are there, Danny?
13.
And it's a weekly show. Shut up, Porter. Math's hard. Stay in school, everybody.
We almost did like once a month.
We almost do it, and that's fine. But no, if we had done the Tribals back-to-back, that's okay, it's 12 weeks. That's 12 weeks someone's not listening. Then they're just not listening. They're not coming back.
They're not coming back by then.
So
that's unfortunate.
So is a month of an episode of, is a month of something you're not interested in hearing, is that going to cost us listens?
Probably.
I'd like to think not, but that's why I don't want to do them back-to-back.
I hear you.
Maybe every other week.
Okay.
And that's... if we do it, but the point is I'm okay with it when it's 4, There are 9 parts to the guilty. 8, 9. 9 parts to the guilty. That's 9 weeks, man.
And by the end of this month, they will be getting...
Part 8.
Part 8.
Yeah, I believe the Condemned will be September.
So, yeah.
Oh.
No. Condemned will be October.
Oh, that's even better.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me happy.
Well, that's probably going to be Halloween Day that we release it.
Probably. I mean, I don't know when Halloween is, but...
I believe it's a Sunday.
So we'll do it Devil's Night.
Oh.
The Guilty, or the Condemned gets released on Devil's Night.
And by then they've heard... I don't remember the name of the previous chapter.
Lines in the Sand.
Okay. Fine, thank you. By then, they've heard Lines in the Sand.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't heard it yet, but they'll hear it.
Yeah, no, yeah. It'll be...
It's future.
It's getting released in a few days. Right. Tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Shit, it's getting released tomorrow. It's the end of the month already.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And this is... Action-wise, this is probably my favorite story we did. Oh, man.
Well, this is the one that haunted your dreams.
Yes.
Which is super cool.
That's a weird thing to say out loud and on a podcast out in front of the world, but it absolutely did. Like, there was so much in the story that happened that I went home late that night and I dreamt everything that happened, and I probably even embellished some of the details in my own head and made it, even better.
I think that one would happen at your house. I know the Condemned did.
The Condemned did. I think the one previous.
Know the Condemned did.
Yes.
That was back when we would fluctuate.
Yeah, your house, my house,
Yeah.
whatever it was. So, like, we're gushing about these postmortems. We want you to hear them, too. It's such a big deal. Because they're such a big deal, the Patreon, we made the right decision. I'm going that route.
With the postmortems, I think so. I mean, we've talked about restructuring it a few times. And again, I think the point of this, because this is not an episode about us shilling for shit.
No.
I want to make sure people don't feel ripped off. I don't want to have a situation where we do a catch-up thing and then start airing the things someone just paid for. Like, that feels scummy to me. I don't want to do it.
No, I get it.
So it's always tricky. Like, I know we discussed raising the prices because of the amount of work that goes into putting those postmortems on.
Yeah.
And it's like, I agree.
Yeah, they're longer than they're about the same length as an episode, but it's extra recording we're doing, it's extra editing we're doing.
Right. That's an episode that doesn't, it's an episode for everyone that doesn't air.
Right.
Because we're doing a postmortem. And it's like, yeah, maybe that should be the 25 tier. But, like, I don't want to have the people
we can't change it now.
Right. Like, I mean, we could, but I don't think that's fair to people.
No, it's not fair.
So, I mean, you got a good deal, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with you. Like I said, we put a lot of extra work. Hell, we put a lot of work in this podcast altogether.
And we really do.
This takes up most of my life.
I miss being able to just fuck around.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love doing this podcast.
I'm with you.
Yes, Porter and I are very close friends, but, like, this podcast has brought us even closer as friends. This podcast has taught me so much more about Werewolf that I should have known as much as we were playing, but I wasn't getting around to it. And doing this now, I've learned so much. Not only have I learned so much, now I'm able to teach others, which is such a fucking cool thing.
Right?
It's such a cool thing being asked questions out on our Discord. What do I think of this? People reaching out and saying, hey, that was such an awesome episode. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Stuff like that. It's such a big deal.
I mean, I was on Discord last night, and Splats was posing all these questions. And at one point, he's like, I'm sorry for asking all these questions. Like, dude, no, that's
why we built this.
We love this discussion, these hypotheticals. I mean, we're talking about losing the wolf.
Oh, cool. I wish I was part of that.
Yeah, and it became this whole thing between the raw, which means rule is written.
Oh, okay, you're using the acronym. Got it.
Yeah, but because people do that to me, and I never understand what acronym people are talking about.
Acronym people?
It doesn't matter. You'll see in Discord, I'll, just make up 3 words to fit it, regardless of context.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know them.
What'd you say? Someone said raw, and you're like, riding a walrus?
Yes, I think riding a walrus was one of my guesses. And Cathadian pointed out that, this is the second time this week you've asked what that means. I'm like, well, I'm clearly not retaining it.
It's not
it's
that
why
important.
you have to use the whole word.
So it's clearly not that important.
Right? Well, let's look at it this way. What's your favorite BOTW? What the fuck am I talking about? Right?
How much of Dead Space can I leave in there?
Is that Book of the Worm? Is that Book of the Weaver? Is that Book of the Wild? None of them. It's best of the worst.
Damn it. I should have known that.
You see my point there?
I should. You know what? If
Like,
we weren't
BOTW could mean anything. Fucking hell.
right, but if we weren't talking about werewolf first, that should have been my first guess.
Well, that's why I went with that, because it's a great misdirect. Because, again, it could be Book of the Worm, Weaver, or Wild. In which edition? Am I talking about Book of the Worm 2? Am I talking about Book of the... No, I'm not.
No.
But that's why you have to say the words when you talk to me, otherwise I don't know what you're talking about. And I always ask. I'm like, what does that mean? I think I'll answer your question, but what does this mean? But there was a big discrepancy of, like, the rule is written, and I guess in different editions versus what happens. Because there was, like, discussion of, like, well, no, if you lose the wolf, okay, it sucks, but then, like, the first time you take damage in combat, you'll get rage back. Or because these are the ways you get rage back. So you'll get a rage back, you get the wolf back. And it's like, no, man,
that doesn't make sense.
Right. If it's that simple, then that there's no consequence to losing the wolf, then losing the wolf is pointless.
Yeah.
And then I point to, like, the in-character example of Vic Stryker, who you guys met in game.
Yep.
And he's a fucking legend in the Striders. He lost the wolf in, like, the 80s.
Oh, see, I didn't know it was a meta character.
Yeah. I love Vic Stryker. It just was an excuse to bring him in.
Hey, that's cool.
That whole story was just an excuse to get to play Vic Stryker for 30 seconds.
It was an awesome story.
He's a badass. I mean, he fought in World War II. He was, like, famous in through World War II. And then, like, he comes and becomes this, like, detective, like what you guys saw him, Like, I always picture him like Sam Loomis from Halloween.
Okay.
But it was this detective who was helping out, and he loses the wolf, and he still works as a detective. And then eventually he beats Hirano, and he finds the wolf again. Yeah, like, it's just awesome. Like, I want to read stories about Vic Stryker.
How?
I don't know.
Okay. I was going to say, is it worth asking?
He's in the try book in the notable Garu section.
Okay.
So it's only the couple paragraphs they give you.
So they don't tell you how.
Yeah, they hype you up, but they don't give you any specifics.
See, if they had something in the Silver Record that would say that.
Vic Stryker certainly, I think, should be in the Silver Record. But, hey, whatever. Fuck. We get a story about Kane, but not Vic Stryker. Fuck off. Or best at glyphs in the Silver Record.
What? Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, it's in the glyph section. I understand you want to, but it shouldn't be in the Silver Record. That should be a different book.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to...
Did you throw the best at book?
Oh, all right, anyway.
It's not important. It's a minor fucking... We're nitpicking now, but...
Every right to be.
But no, like, the fuck was I talking about?
Vic Stryker beat Hirano, found the wolf again.
Yeah, we're talking about, so I brought that up, that, like, Vic Stryker lost the wolf for, like, 20 fucking years. Do you mean to tell me that he never took damage or stubbed his toe or dropped his keys or burnt fucking toast over the course of 20 years to gain a rage point?
I'm sure he has. I'm sure he got mad.
Like, he never stubbed a toe. He never hit his thumb with a hammer.
Nothing.
Bullshit. And I mean, obviously I was being a little hyperbolic there, but it was me kind of hitting because it was going, well, the rule is written. I'm like, well, fuck the rule is written. Because it's...
Just because it says rule is written doesn't mean it makes sense.
Right. Doesn't mean it's the best way to do it. I mean, yeah, you should look to the book of what does the book say, but there's a point where you got to think critically and go, well, it's more complicated. It ultimately ended up being more complicated than just, oh, look, you gain a rage point and it's over.
Yeah.
But as the conversation was progressing, that was the kind of shit we were talking about. It's like, no, these are the good conversations. The stuff we can, like, talk about and speculate and branch out on. We fucking love that. I mean, we're all about sharing that, sharing the love for the game, getting people to get people to see it. I want people to see the game like I do.
Yes. Absolutely, yes. I mean, I wouldn't be this enthused about it, and I wouldn't be this excited to record every week, every other week. I wouldn't be enthused to even do the editing, much less play another game, if I didn't see it through the eyes that you're showing me.
Thank you. I mean, I don't think thank you is the right word, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
It's
You're welcome, because it works. And at that point, thank you, because if I were to pick this up myself, I wouldn't be able to keep it going.
No.
No, I mean,
that's not even a commentary. Just...
No. It's just, one, I'm not a storyteller.
Right.
I was never into, obviously D&D was a thing. I'm sure that fantasy world, it's cool to me, but, it only goes so far.
Well, I think you would have read the comic in second edition, if our roles were reversed. Mm-hmm. And this is neat.
And then I put it down and never see it again?
Probably. And then, you'd have been, we were making a character, and he would have handed you the book and went in the other room to play Super Nintendo, and you'd have been like, I'm not doing this. Nah, this is too much effort.
He's still playing a game, I'm going to take a nap.
Well, I'm going to play a game too, or whatever.
That too.
I don't think you would have grabbed on.
No. So for me to be able to see it through the way, or at least try and get close to the way you see it, is awesome, and I'm so excited to do it each time that now we're able to do it for other people.
Which is just really cool.
And again, when we first started this, I don't know, when did we do this? In the 20s maybe? We started Discord?
Ooh, somewhere around there.
We started the Discord because we started getting a couple emails here and there. And we wanted to be able to reach out to other people. We've heard of this Discord before. I think Tom was the only one who knew anything about it.
I think so.
I had no clue.
I had the program, but I didn't know how it worked.
I didn't even have the program.
I had a buddy who was still gaming online. Mm-hmm. I think it was still WoW, and he made me get Discord
for communications.
Yeah, and I talked with him once, and that was it. And I didn't know how to work it. All right.
I mean, because it was soon after that I realized what it was, and I was like, oh, I can be able to communicate with my gaming friends too in a different way, because it was just like Xbox game chat or something stupid. Mm. But I was no longer using Xbox. Like, oh my god, I haven't talked to my friends in a while. So that's when I learned Discord around the same time for that same reason. So we started Discord, and we were, like I said, we were getting a couple emails here and there, being able to talk to people. And it's like, well, how are we going to do this for multiple people? So that's when we started Discord, and that was a trip and a half as it was.
Yeah, especially those early Discord days, because It was still everyone was in quarantine.
Yeah.
So, we'd spend the whole fucking day on Discord.
Yeah. Yeah. Between you, Joey, I don't know if Tom I think was.
Tom was on a lot, too. You were on a lot. And then, our original Discord members. It's like, aren't we supposed to be at work? And everyone's like, yeah, shut up.
That happened a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would be at work still. I use it on my phone. Still to this day, I'm doing it. If my boss is listening, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you get all your work done. And, you're ahead of schedule most of the time.
Most of the time, yes.
So, if Danny's boss is listening, fucking don't worry about it.
Don't worry, yeah.
He gets it done. What are you mad that he's only excellent at his job?
And not absolutely fantastic.
Why don't you give him a raise? How about that?
See, now that you've said that, he's probably not listening.
Well, then I saved you from getting in trouble.
Thank you.
No, I had a job like that. I mean, it wasn't as good of a job. Mm-hmm. But, years ago, I worked for Walmart. I was their assembler. Mm-hmm. It was actually a pretty good gig. I got to make my own hours. I got, a $2 bump.
Nice.
Yeah. I started in grocery. It was a brand new Walmart was coming up. And they wanted me in receiving, and I didn't want to do it with a new crew. Because I had done receiving for 5 years.
Right.
Actually, I didn't want to do that with a different crew. It was Christmas, and they needed help building bikes. And so they're like, Porter, you know how to do it. Will you help us out? Yeah, sure, I'll help you out. Well, they had a guy, as old as the game of poker, building bikes back there. And so, I'd put 4 together by the time it took him to build one.
And if it was correct.
So they were like, how about you become our head assembler, which wasn't a real position, by the way.
No, of course not.
No, it was. They made that up for me.
Well, hey, anything to get you to stay, right?
Well, yeah, they fired him.
There you go.
Brought me over, gave me an extra $2 an hour, let me make my own schedule. It's a hard gig to complain about it, at the time.
I wouldn't complain at all.
No, I loved it. I'm away from the people, I got my radio back there, yeah, sweet. But I'd get bored. Because, I'm done with everything. Uh-huh. And I remember there was the day I went to the director. I had come in, and, I wasn't feeling it. And, I had 3 bikes to build for the whole week.
Oh, that sucks.
And so I'm there for, a half hour.
And you built all 3 by now?
No, I only did one because I wanted to pace myself.
Okay.
It was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I needed to have something to do.
Yeah, I get it.
And so, like, I go to the director. I'm like, hey, I'm going to leave. And he looks at me and he looks at the client and he goes, you don't have anything to do? And I'm like, can I level with you? He's like, please, use a matter-of-fact guy so I could do this. He goes, please. And I go, I can go back there, stick my thumb up my ass, turn around in the chair, and have you pay me for it for the next 6 hours. But I respect my time and your money more than that.
I'm sure he appreciated that.
Yeah, he paused and he says, I'll see you tomorrow.
So did you come in, you build the next bike, and then do the same thing again?
No, I found something to do, but
Okay.
I think I helped unload a truck. I liked the work. It was just,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, I have a similar problem a lot of times, too.
Yeah. But it was just one of those things like, no, man, look, if you want me to, I can waste time for the rest of my shift. I can pretend to do something. I can hide back I can take a nap in the bike rack or the racks, man. You'll never find me.
Yeah, whatever works, right?
But just, you need to cut hours anyway. I don't want to be here. I have nothing to do. Fuck it. I respect my time and your money more than that.
We should get back to werewolf.
My bad.
That's fine. We're doing all right.
Yeah, we're experimenting. We're bullshitting.
Yeah.
This is kind of a behind-the-scenes thing.
It's definitely behind the scenes. I mean, I'm hoping people don't turn this one off.
I'm prepared for it not to do well. But we're trying something.
Yeah. But hey, we're here. We're still recording because we love what we're doing.
Well, yeah, I'd like to think that us is a factor.
Oh, I'm sure it's a big factor.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know and I don't want to presume.
I hope it's a big factor.
But, like, you look at these Let's Players out there, right? And people tune in because they build a rapport, a sort of a rapport with a particular streamer.
Sure.
Maybe it's, I don't want to play this video game, I want to watch someone play it. Maybe that's what gets you started watching one. I don't have time to play this game, but I really want to know about it.
Sure.
But you end up...
You're watching more games than you originally intended because of who was playing it.
Right. You kind of... I don't know the right word for it, but you build that rapport. You feel like you know that person.
A little bit.
And so I can only assume that's true here, too. I mean, I know we love our community. I look at our Discord, and it's like, hey, I mean, there's a lot of people who don't say much, and that sucks. You should come in and hang out more. But...
Please.
Like...
We always want to hear what you guys have to say.
How many names do we drop? We don't do it.
No, we name drop all the time. And it's because we love having you guys out there as part of our community.
Yeah, like we like the people is why we're talking about them.
Like, it's cool that we built the community, especially on the Discord itself.
Yeah, I'm super proud of it.
I'm very proud of it.
But, like, I'm going to bring up Drucker and this fucking red tea that he got me hooked on. I drink a gallon of this shit a day.
It's delicious.
And I'm bringing it up because I like Drucker. It's not...
Right. And then we look at Discord, too. And we started with a couple games on there. Mm-hmm. It was probably Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then it became just Tuesdays, and then more people wanted to run games. I think total we have, 5 games on there right now?
Maybe.
4 or 5. I think it was 5, and one has finished.
I think 2 are on hiatus.
That's what it was. Okay.
But nonetheless, there are still multiple games running a week. There's at least 3 active right now.
Right now.
And then game night, which, by the way... I haven't talked to... I got to talk to Hayes.
Good. We're dropping names some more here.
He wants to move game night because because of stuff that stuff we're not going to talk about in there.
Right.
Personal stuff that he's fine too. Don't worry about the guy you don't know, but Hayes is fine.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. But he needs to move it from Wednesday. So he asked me, what day was Drucker's game on?
So he doesn't mix and match them?
Because he doesn't want to... He doesn't want to hold his game night the same night someone's got a regular game going.
Right, which I
respect, but there's not a whole lot of options.
No, because I think we have a Tuesday game, we have a Thursday game, I know there's a Friday game.
Is there a Friday game?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I think it's Monday is his option.
So Monday or Wednesday,
his
and it was
option
Wednesday?
Is one. Right, he's like, whatever day Drugger was, we need to move it. So I asked Drugger this morning, he's like, yeah, it was Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
It's like bad news, Hayes.
Yep.
But Monday is available. Sunday's available.
Okay.
Saturday's available if it's not Hangout night.
Which, again, and if you're on the Discord, we have that game night. It's all party games.
Yeah, I wish more people would come along to that, because it's not werewolf related, I get it, but it's just, hey, it's like a fucking mixer.
Right.
It's like show up and play some stupid games that don't matter.
And have a good time.
Right. It's just about joking around, having laughs.
I have fun.
It's making friends. It's just, make friends with your fellow gamers that you wouldn't maybe normally.
Right.
God, you know what? That's something too. I'm switching gears now. Look at that.
Yes, please.
That's something that was super important to me when we started this.
Well, making the friends?
Well, no. You asshole.
You're welcome.
That's good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we have made friends with some of the listeners, and that's really important to me.
It was a joke, but it was still half serious.
No, it was a good joke. It was a good burn. But we have made friends with some of these, with some of you guys, and that's, I cherish those friendships. That's important to me. It's not like an internet thing. I like these people. I care about their lives and what's going on.
Yeah, me too. The distance might be shitty, but
these
look,
people.
The physical distance might be a ways away, but look.
As a society, we're past that.
Right, and the internet is a thing, and we're able to have these conversations and friendships with these people all the time.
Oh, it means a lot, I don't ever want someone to think that it doesn't, or that we're snowing them, because I don't care enough about anything on a normal day to go to the trouble of snowing someone I don't like.
Yes, I do know.
It's not worth my time to pretend.
No,
what I was going to say is when we started this was really important to me is we stayed away from the politics.
Yes.
Because, these days I think this sucks too, is it's not a difference of opinion anymore. The days where people can just disagree on something, unfortunately, it's rare that people can do that now. It becomes a whole thing, and it ruins shit.
It ruins lives. It ruins friendships.
It drags the fun out of stuff. And I'm sitting here going, look, man, you might be a Democrat and a Republican, and I might be 6 independents. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what's important? Is we all love werewolf. So instead of looking for the shit that divides us, let's find the things that can bring us together. And just shut up about the rest of it. Because it's not important.
No.
Who you voted for last time is not important. I mean, werewolf in the grand scheme of things isn't either, but it is insofar as it's something that brings people together. It's a positive force to bring people together when there's so much shit out there tearing people apart.
Well said. Perfectly said. I mean, especially in our Discord and especially in Werewolf, the outside politics does not fucking matter.
No. Sometimes...
Your Silver Fang and my Fianna in a pack together don't give a shit who won the election.
Right.
Don't give a shit who lost the election.
But, yeah. My Shadow Lord doesn't care about the beer bug. It doesn't care about the vaccinations. It doesn't care about what you feel about the vaccinations or what this straw poll says. None of it.
Exactly.
None of that.
So, we made it a point that's our biggest rule for our set of rules on the Discord.
Yeah.
And, as long as no one talks about it, we don't have a problem.
And, sometimes people get a little close, and that happens, but it's never been
a problem.
Right.
Like, hey, it's a little close, let's nip this in the butt before it gets anywhere.
And then a lot of times, a lot of the people police themselves, which is great.
Yes.
This might be a little close, let's take this into DMs or whatever. And I love that. Because I'm a big proponent of it's okay to disagree. I mean...
Can have discussions all day long.
Oh, we argue in Discord at times. I think about Charybdis. Charybdis and I argued. He saw it. I made sure he saw it. He thought it was funny.
Good.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I put that on the website. He did think it was funny, so it's still there. If he didn't think it was funny, it'd be gone.
I agree with you.
But we already knew he'd be fine with it.
Yes.
But that's the thing, Charybdis. I love that guy to death, man.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, Charybdis is fucking great.
And it's a 6-hour difference.
And he and I argued every day for 2 months. Like, just about.
Hey.
And we're talking like a Captain America Hawkeye kind of arguing. Or it'd be like, I like turkey, and Charybdis would be like, turkey sucks, and you suck, and ham's the only way to go.
I think for him it'd be schnitzel.
Well done. Take that. But there you go. We argued a lot.
You never brought it up in the general chat, though.
No, it came up a lot in the general chat.
Oh, did it?
It was about werewolf.
Okay, as long as it wasn't about anything else.
No, but
no problem with it.
And, it got to be, I consider him a really good friend.
If we had the chance, fly out to Germany.
I don't know. I'd hang out with him when he got here. I'd be excited. I'd meet him at the airport.
You guys can't see his face right now. Kribnus, you can't see his face right now.
I don't want to go to Germany. I don't have a passport. You know what a hassle that is? Fuck all that, man.
Oh, man.
That's what it is. I just don't want to fucking deal with getting my passport done.
But look at all these cool people we just talked about for just being friends because they're listening to our podcast.
Yeah, I think Strides.
Been there since the beginning.
God, man, that guy's such a badass.
He's an awesome storyteller.
Right? Melissa, fucking, she's been with us since the beginning, She and I got really close.
Yeah.
We haven't talked in a while, which is a bit of a bummer, but people get busy.
Well, everyone gets busy.
Yeah. But, I'm hoping things will slow down for her soon, because, man, we haven't caught up in a while. Our boy Billy.
I'm so glad he's around.
Right? I just talked with him the other day.
The first fan. Remember we called him the first.
Yeah, it was our first shout out.
And our first shout out, yeah.
I stole his line, and I have stolen his line.
Yep, it's a full in use now.
Yeah, it is. It's theft now. Before it was an homage. Now it's theft.
So thank you, Billy.
But I love this community. You know what I mean? And it's just a couple names. That's
a handful of names, and we could very easily just keep spurting out more names.
We really could. I mean, you guys all know who you are, and we love and appreciate you.
Patrons, you guys are such a big deal. That's probably one of the biggest reasons we were able to keep doing this, too.
I think that has a lot to do with... Well, I mean, that is a fact. After a certain point, when we had the kerfuffle and we had so we wouldn't have the equipment.
There was some issues going on and staff changes and...
Well, you remember when we changed studios.
Right.
We wouldn't have been able to afford to change studios.
Right, much less the equipment.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, the patrons, all of you guys, thank you. It's a big deal. We really can't thank you enough. And without just blurting out all of your names right here, right now.
Which we never do, and I kind of feel bad because we were supposed to, but we never do it.
Well, we did it.
We did it once.
The one time when it was... We did it the one time because we have the new board, and it's like, wow, we wouldn't have this episode without these guys. They absolutely deserve it.
But you know what I'm saying, is we were bad at that, and we're sorry, but
at the same time, no one wants to hear just, 50-something names off the bat.
I wish it was 50-something.
Okay, 40-something.
Keep going, let's...
You know what, fine, if we hit that 50-something names, we'll say them all.
It wouldn't hurt to once a month break them into 3, or whatever. It's just we don't think to do it.
We're never...
It's negligence. It's not anything else. We're just being negligent.
They're just gonna flat out say it, huh?
Why not? Fuck it.
All right.
I mean, we're being I wouldn't go so far as to say we're ever fake on the air.
No, I've never been fake on the air.
But there's different layers of real. I mean, do you know what I mean by that? Like this is...
Yes, I do. We've never forced anything. We've never...
No, we're always just us. But this is a little more personal level today. I think that's what I mean.
We didn't have any research to go on. We had stuff.
No, we had stuff. We could have done any number of episodes that we were... Everything on next week's docket we could have done today.
Well, not everything.
Yes, everything. You don't think we could have done the totem episode today?
That's why I said not everything, because I have some research, not all of it.
I'm sure it would have been enough.
I mean, you're probably right, but...
I mean, you think I can't...
You can. I have a hard time without doing the research.
Fine, but at that point, what? You're asking questions, you're facilitating at that point.
Right, which is...
you're just feeding me.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, that's why we really never did a 3-man show. Or never did a 2-man show.
No, you're right. But I mean, I'm saying we could have, but we chose to do something different and try something new today. it's not to say that if his kills over well, this is going to be every episode.
No. We're still going to talk about, because we haven't really talked about Werewolf yet.
No, not really.
About the podcast.
A little bit. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've mentioned Vic Stryker. We've mentioned Hirano.
And Losing the Wolf.
But, like, there was just kind of mini stories there.
Yeah, well, this was our plan. I mean, in terms of, like, it was Napoleon's plan, which was just kind of show up and see what happens. And in all fairness, Napoleon's plan worked really well until Waterloo. So I think we can get away with it today.
I hate that you're right. As funny as it is, you're absolutely right.
So
show up and see what happens. It'll be fine.
Yeah, our idea was kind of a retrospective, and it's kind of what we're doing, and
kind of close enough.
We're just talking, and hey, like you guys are along for the ride on this. Hopefully, that's the thing. Like, here we go, talking about behind the scenes. Episode length is a thing we try to keep consistent on.
Yes. We said it earlier, we looked at the earlier episodes. It took us less than an hour to record. They came out to be 30 minutes after editing and taking out whatever dumb joke and all the dead air that was no one knew what to say for a solid 30 seconds at a time. And
cutting out half of my fucking ums.
That too. But that's with everyone's ums.
That's true.
And look at all the people we've had as guests. Not everyone knows what to say.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I'm here to make you sound even better.
We don't. But I wish we could point to a guest that we didn't like.
Oh,
or
no.
that did a really shitty job, or that there was bad blood to, so we could poke fun at them. But we don't. We don't have that.
No, everyone who's been on our show, it's always been like an awesome time, and always been just like hanging out with that friend.
No, but you know what I mean? I wish, like, oh man, remember the time we had Sammy Hagar and that guy was a dick? Like, we don't have that story, though.
How dare you call Sammy Hagar a dick?
Sammy Hagar sucks. Fuck you. I heard him turn Jump into a ballad.
Oh,
that is unforgivable. Sammy Hagar sucks.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I'll get up, and nothing gets... No, absolutely not.
You were going to take some crap for that now, you know that.
Probably. That was my Sammy Hagar impression. That wasn't my singing voice. A kid drive 50 feet. It's him. That's fucking Sammy Hagar.
So
that's the type of shit that might get cut on a normal day.
On a normal day, probably not this time. Today, no, this was fun.
Teach me a lesson.
Exactly. I'm glad you recognize it.
I knew it. I knew what I was getting myself into.
But no, look at all the guests we've had, though.
Yeah. Everyone's Chris.
Everyone's fucking Chris.
I mean, we had Chris, and then Chris showed up.
And then Chris
happened. And
then we had to change Chris's name. And then Chris was here again. And then we changed Chris's name so Chris could show up again. Like, we're joking, but that actually happened.
Everyone's Chris. It's a motto behind the scenes. Everyone's Chris.
But no, everyone who's been on the show... I mean, like, we have the people in our community, the people we've reached out to. Mm-hmm. It's always been just hanging out with those people.
And that's always been the goal and the thing I've tried to stress with them. It's like, hey, it's just relax. Everything will be cool. We're just having a conversation. Just people who love the game talking. And I mean, that was the goal.
And it worked.
Yeah. We want, and I mean, we talked about this so much, but it's the way to get the information in a world where maybe sitting down and reading the books isn't completely reasonable, if you don't have time for it. It's getting inspiration, hearing different opinions. The idea was a lot of things, but predominantly it was the idea of the format was just having a conversation, having some fun, because it can be dry material if you let it be dry material.
And that was such a big deal for us to not do that. I was trying to read a lot of the book, especially when we started this game.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to. It takes up so much time, and I hate fucking reading. I hate reading. It bores me. It makes me tired. If it's something I'm interested, I'll last a little bit longer. That's what she said.
Boom.
But, like, if it wasn't for this podcast, still wouldn't know half the shit.
Yeah.
Because I would go to read it and go to learn, and I'm like, So tired. I don't know what to do. Now, with the podcast, I'm like, oh, we have to go talk about some totems. I better learn some totems so I know what the hell I'm talking about when we come to podcast.
Right?
So it's incentive for me to keep reading.
I get it. And for me too is, sometimes, because I don't have a stopwatch under you guys know how much you research for an episode, but I probably do half what you do.
Well, you already have so much of that knowledge previous.
Right. You just committed to memory. But, sometimes I want a refresher.
Sure.
And that it's a book I wouldn't have opened or hadn't opened in 20 years because I remember it. And so it's nice to get, well, sometimes you remember it wrong. Or I don't remember reading this part. So it's good for me too.
I mean, I see why you need the refresher. You want to make sure you sound like you know what you're talking about.
Thanks.
And that's the thing too, is like, I'd say half the stuff I research never comes out on air. And I don't mean to do it that way. It's because we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
That I'm getting questions answered because, again, I'm learning some of this stuff for the first time. Or I'm answering questions of stuff that I just read, but like I skipped the next part or whatever reason here.
Sure. I mean, there's a level of practicality we have to acknowledge.
Timing.
Yep. Look, we all work jobs. You and Tom have families.
Yeah. Plus the house issue I just had to deal with. I just sold the house.
Yeah, we're adults and life is busier than it was
20 years ago.
Right. Like when I was learning this stuff for the first time, I had the luxury of both the line was still alive. Like I was right there in second edition. So we're waiting the months for the tri-books to get released. Oh my God, Book of the Worm is out. Oh, Book of the Weaver's the new hotness.
So you're reading that one and you have plenty of time because the next one's not out yet.
Right. So you absorb that book because there's only so many books. This is the new one. And then at the same time, I'm in junior high school. What the fuck do I have to do?
Not much.
Exactly. It's certainly not homework. So,
Lucky you. I was the biggest procrastinator. I still didn't do it, but hey.
Oh, no, yeah, I just wouldn't do it. I want to do this instead. I want to read the K-Room book. I'm more interested in Torgus Firemane than John Adams. I don't know what to tell you.
You and me both.
So
one's cooler, just saying.
Torgus Firemane's a really nice guy, and it's really off-putting.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because he's massive.
And he's just like a super nice guy.
He's this huge fucking guy. He's the Jarl the Sept of the Blood Fist, and he's just like the nicest fucking guy.
So it's John Coffey from The Green Mile? Michael Clark Duncan?
I know. I guess.
Michael Duncan Clark?
No, Michael Clark Duncan.
I said it right.
You had it right for the first time.
And he's just a really big guy, but he's like super nice.
Kind of. I think that's a fair comparison.
Okay.
But you think about the Jarl of the Sept of the Blood Fist.
That doesn't make any sense, being a nice guy.
Right? Like, it's not what you expected. You expect like an Ivan Drago, the eye must break you.
Yes. No. If he dies.
He dies.
He dies.
I actually did that, not the Ivan Drago. But I used Torgus in the Virginia games.
Okay.
It was. I think it was my favorite story of that era. It was called Battle Studies. No, it wasn't. Diplomacy and You.
Okay.
Battle Studies is a different thing. Diplomacy and You, the idea was, and I've talked about this before, they're sent to the different cairns to give the players a look at what a single tribe cairns looks like and different views of the nation through those. So, they go to the Black Fury cairn, they go to the Wendigo cairn,
Sure.
Yeah. And I knew they were going to go to the Sept of the Blood Fist. It wasn't on their list. They were not told to go there. They were given specific locations. This wasn't one of them, but I knew my players. And I was so fucking proud of myself, writing this, that I anticipated their moves and wrote in their moves. And, the punchline there is I was so busy doing that I forgot to detail the fourth cairn.
Right.
We've talked about that. Yeah, I know I've talked about it. But, I had I'm focusing on the Get one because they had the Elder Shadowboxer who had gone to the Sept of the Blood Fist to protect another NPC, which I won't.
Yeah, it's a different story.
It's a different story. Yeah, and they get there, and what they didn't know was there was a Grand Moot going on at the Sept at that time.
Uh-oh.
And I wrote it that way so I could, triple the number and get a Fenrir sitter normally at the Sept.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You know, they're coming from their sept to 20 Garu, and they get there, and I'm like, there's 300 Get a Fenris assembled.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, something was going down. It's just timing. But it gave them that impression, you know? And so they go hopping up to the campfire where Torgus Firemane's sitting, you know, like as wide as 3 dudes and as big as 2. You know, with that giant red beard.
Is that the description they give in the books?
I'm paraphrasing it, certainly.
Okay. Wow.
He's wide. He's a big guy, but he's fucking wide. They could land a plane on his shoulders. I don't know what.
Holy shit. That's awesome.
And like they're scared. They're scared to death. You know? They're like, what
surely so. Don't blame them.
And they just clump up to the fire to him, and they're trying to, you know, they're giving their introductions and they're trying to, and it was so much fun, is that he didn't speak English.
Oh, man.
And so, like, I didn't know any German, so I went and Google Translate. And I think I still remember it, because he's sitting there and he's looking at him, you know, his little eye, and he's just staring him down. He's, Guten Nacht, Kinder, Sie sehen nicht sightseeing.
And I have no idea what that means.
Google Translate says.
Okay, let's make that clear.
You know, good evening, kids. Odd place to sightsee.
Okay.
Something like that, you know. You know, sightseeing. What are you doing here? And so you watch them shit their pants. Because now they realize he doesn't speak English.
Oh, God. They don't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do either.
Right?
Why the fuck did you go there?
And then I pause. Kein Deutsch. Amerikanisches.
Again, I don't speak German. So what does Google Translator say that says?
Well, no German. Americans. So he stands up. Was is me doing for you? And now they're shitting their pants more. Because he's accommodating them by trying to speak English that he does not do.
And he's just doing it because he's nice.
Right? Like he's, your fellow Garu. How can I help you? Mind blown, man. It's like they needed adults in trauma blankets. I was so fucking proud of myself. I had them good. And again, that was me just guessing they'd do it, and I was absolutely right.
So what happened from there? Where'd they go?
Well, Shadowboxer saw them. And got involved.
So luckily they knew someone there and they had a translator.
Right, which is why they went there. Because they knew that's where Shadowboxer was. She'll help us. That's not her decision.
No, and I'm sure she was pissed for doing it too.
She didn't appreciate being put in the, but they weren't supposed to go there, so that caused problems later.
I can imagine so. Because you like to do that in your games, where shit you do now will absolutely have consequences later.
Well, it was the tribal politics of the situation, because the reason they were sent out is because they were low on numbers. You know, they had lost 2 elders in a pack.
An entire pack?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Not doing it to an attack or something, but due to shit happening in various ways.
Sure.
So their numbers are low. They needed to keep that quiet.
Oh, and you don't go to Get a Fenris Sept and ask for help.
Yep.
Oh, no.
And then a particular Shadow Lord, Donovan Darkwind, had appeared in the Sept. And this is an NPC who used to be a part of that Sept and was exiled. But the Jarl who did that was dead.
Oh, no.
So he showed up there to pay his respects.
Uh-huh.
But really to provoke an attack to justify taking the Sept.
I saw that coming.
Which, so did the Elders. But now they know we need more numbers. So, the new leader of the Cairn, Kasai Moonwalker, she says, okay, go to these 4 locations, speak to these 4 specific people, and get back up. And do not come back unsuccessful.
So she said those 4 specific cairns and those 4 specific people on purpose because she knows only those 4 she could trust.
Right.
Okay, I figured that out already.
But what they heard
was don't come back unsuccessful.
Right, don't come back empty-handed.
That's all they heard. Oh, man.
So they're like, we're going to get extra credit because 2 of the places told us no immediately.
So let's go get someone of higher rank.
Shadowboxer will help us.
Yeah.
And what you don't do is you don't go to a Get a Fenris Cairn and say, hey, our Cairn's weak, can you come help? That is not a way to keep a sept under your control.
Oh my god. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure I've done some stupid shit in our games. But holy hell.
That was neat. That brought the,
Do not take action to cause thy cairn to be violated.
Well, and it's not a violation,
How
but
does
it
that...
is...
No, that's a
It's
violation.
not
right
a
there.
violation. It's not violating. You go to the worm. They went to the Fenner. That's where some elders from the Blood Fist in that region came over to take to dominate the Council of Elders, and the Murder Train pack and the She-Bitch pack and the...
She-Bitch pack?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
all Valkyria Freya.
All
They
of
were
them?
fucking brutal.
Fuck yeah.
I like the Murder Train, though, because the... That's where Ape Hanger first came from, the Lupus Philodox. Mm-hmm. Ape Hanger.
Some implications there.
I love the names that are verbs.
Now, is that a meta character or is that someone you made?
No, I made them up.
Okay.
True to form, it's a band name. It's a band that no one's ever heard of.
Oh, really?
But also, you look in the different context. Ape Hanger, that's brutal.
That's a red
I
talent
love
right
it.
there.
That is a mean motherfucker. That is a Lupus. That is a Philodox. And that's what he does.
He's a red talent, correct?
No, it's a Get a Fenris.
Oh. Well, shit. Oh.
Peck a Get. No, in your games, he's a red talent.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Because again,
confused me.
Yeah, because he was a small part.
Okay.
I can do large tweaks to a small part. Mm-hmm. No, you're right. He is now a red talent in your games. Him and Hecklefang are part of Scratch Eyes pack. They're red talents. But it was Ape Hanger, and then their alpha was John Henry fucked your mother.
What the hell?
He was a Ragabash Gat. That was his name. John Henry fucked your mother. The guy was a fucking sadist.
I just see him doing a hell of announcement for that one. Jesus Christ,
Danny hadn't heard
dude.
that before.
Clearly not. Oh my god. I can just see Tom listening to this. He's going to be laughing along with me, I know it.
That was good stuff. But yeah, I mean, so that was the consequences of that down the road.
You know, why we're on it.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, well, they're kind of cool. Like, I love some of these names. Mm-hmm. Just start ripping some of them off that you've had in the past, hopefully, that I haven't heard before.
Oh,
or at
God.
least the podcast hasn't heard before.
Damn, man, put me on the spot.
Okay, how about if I throw like a tribe at you and you can do from the tribes?
Nah, that's not going to help either.
No? Okay.
You know, I know it's been a while since I've done a string like that, because I haven't. But there's a time I'd go stream of consciousness and just write names.
Right.
And that's where we got our boy Kurt from.
Kurt Blood of More Blood?
Yeah. More blood?
Right. We mentioned this before. It was a long time ago. It was probably back in the early 20s or whatever. But, like, yeah, you would
it was
have a list of names. And
Yeah, it was on a roll. You know, and it's like...
and then a rock hit you and you didn't know what to say.
Yeah, you stumble, and it's like, oh, okay, you know, we have Blood Stains the Walls, we got John Henry Fucked Your Mother, we got Ape Hanger, we've got Kurt Blood of More Blood? I ended it with a question mark and everything. And I left it in the end in the Bible, and the character description just said, heck. just a little reminder for myself.
But you turn that into a sufficient character, eventually.
I eventually did. You guys haven't met him yet, and it will be the first time I've done it.
Oh. Like, I know that you've talked about it before. I don't know if you've done it on the podcast or not.
I'm not sure either, but I know I came up with the idea since I moved back here.
Okay.
So it's only a year or two old idea. I haven't done it yet. I know what I'm doing, and we're not there yet.
Okay.
That's going to come up in our next Chronicle.
All right, then I won't bring it up.
Yeah.
I'll leave that here. That's unfortunate. Sorry, guys. I was excited. Because I have an idea, a small idea, but obviously you've made tweaks. Because, again, if it's only a year old.
Yeah, maybe two. I mean, you know how the time goes.
How long have you been here? I don't know.
I don't know. More than 78 weeks.
Okay. Solid point.
Best I can do.
That's all that matters.
No, but I think, when you're doing names, I think stream of consciousness is the best way to go. And, I know I've said this before, but say the name out loud.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's role-playing, and that's how that name's going to be communicated. And there should be a rhythm to a Garu name.
Yes. We were trying to think of names for my character. We start off as Luca Scragripper. Mm-hmm. And that was his Garu name. He's changed names a couple times since then.
Yes.
And we'll leave most of that stuff for the postmortems. But, some of the stuff that we were trying to come up with, it's like, yeah, if you don't say it out loud, it might sound cool in your head. You don't say it out loud. When you do say it out loud, it's going to surprise you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just like, what was some of the names we were coming up with? It was like, I want to say it was like The Forsaken. And it sounded cool. And it's like, wait, no, there's a game called Forsaken. And I didn't even know that at the time. And then you say it out loud, and like, this is stupid. Don't do that.
Yeah, right. And you got to say it out loud. And I mean, I can think there are bad Garu names.
Sure.
And I can think of a couple players who made some odd decisions,
and then stuck with it.
Yeah.
Oh, just stubborn in their ways, huh?
I don't know what. I don't want to slack anybody off here, but I think about the character Shadow Thought. I was like, what? It's what you want. It makes you happy. Okay. But
I can't. I'm trying not to.
I am confused why you decided on that.
What was the character?
He was a Shadow Lord.
Oh, you're kidding.
And a Philodox. So
okay.
He uses his mind, and he's a Shadow Lord.
Oh, haha.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, that's a bad decision.
Right. And I mean, you can offer to help or and it's like, no, this is the one I want. I'm like, okay, you're happy. Okay. I think back to the Bitches and Brews, the original name of your guys' pack.
God,
which is hilarious, and I'm partially responsible for it.
You are. You are absolutely just as responsible as the other two. I hated this fucking name so much.
And the three of us just browbeat him into agreeing.
Like, I had no choice. It was either I agree to this, or no one else is playing this game.
And no one said that.
No, but it was implied.
But we did not go easy on you. They liked it, and I'm like, I got a kick out of it. And this is what was going to happen.
Like, I felt like I was the only one taking it serious. That's why it bothered me so much.
Like, I can respect that. But, what happened in game is the name of that pack...
It stuck.
Well, not only did it stick, but people reacted to it.
Yes.
I mean, it was almost 50-50.
Yeah, depending on who the character was, they would react either...
That's funny or that's really embarrassing.
Yes. Because now we have a new name. It was Wrath of the Blood Moon pack.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm souring on, but that's not my pack, so...
Why are you souring on it?
I don't like the rhythm to it.
I mean, you don't have to say pack at the end. Just say Wrath of the Blood Moon. I think it's badass.
No, it's fine. I'm not going to take it from you. Shit.
But we did things, and we've made some impacts in previous games before we got that name.
Yeah.
So when we had to, in-game, we had to reach out to a pack that we formerly worked with. Like, but we have to tell them it's our old name because they're not going to know who the Wrath of the Blood Moon pack is. And that bummed me out. Hey, go to this pack, ask them we need help. We're cashing in that favor they owe us. Signed, the Bitches and Brews. Fuck.
It was fun writing reactions to that pack's name.
Did you have a rhyme or a reason why certain characters reacted to it positively?
Well, just who the character is.
Just depending on the character?
Yeah, Dempsey... Deadman Dempsey, for example, isn't one to take things overly seriously, so he thinks it's funny.
That and the Fianna.
Whiplash, on the other hand...
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a little disgraceful.
It's
disgraceful, right? Jude, what was he like? We'll see how long that lasts.
Right, and I was happy you said that. And I was hoping that meant it was only going to be like a story or two. Nope,
it's like it lasted a while.
3-4 chronicles.
But I mean, even there, it was him acknowledging that you were kids, and kids sometimes make stupid decisions. You'll grow out of it. It's fine.
just took a while to convince the other two to grow out of it.
It was funny. It probably should have changed sooner.
Yes.
But everyone was so in love with it.
Mm-hmm. No, we've done well. The game, and I have the podcast to thank for it, because the game continues. And even though we haven't played in a while, which sucks so much.
Yeah.
But time's an issue. Lives get in the way. And we make sure, at least you and I make sure, that we put time aside for this podcast.
Yeah.
And it's a weekly show.
Right.
Holy shit. How many times have we come down to where we might not have an episode and we have to, 11th hour do something? We had a couple live shows because we didn't have anything for the next couple days.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing, is our first live show was done because we had a fucking technical emergency and that episode got scrapped.
Yeah. The episode got scrapped.
Like, I forget which problem it was, but we couldn't.
Yeah, it was.
We recorded one.
Yeah. We had an episode. The file was corrupt and Joey went away for a weekend.
That's right.
Joey had all the stuff.
So we had to do a live show.
So, yeah, within a span of, 3 hours, I learned how to record off a program off the internet, how to record 3 people at the same time in 3 different locations. Broadcasting service, whatever it was, and it wasn't great, but we had an episode because we had to make sure we had something. It's a weekly show.
Well, that turned out looking pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good episode.
It was a lot of fun. And again, thanks
to
Billy.
I guess there's a level of relativity there. But yes, thanks to Billy, that helped a lot.
Yeah, again, we had Billy there, who, again, the first fan.
Hey, you busy? Want to co-host?
Right. And again, it was just a conversation between friends, talking about Werewolf.
Well, we took questions from Discord, too.
That, too. And we did the same thing with the second one.
Yep.
But again, we didn't have one for the next couple days later. That was the Bonars. That was one of the tribal ones.
Yeah, okay.
I remember very, very specifically.
I am so glad that tribal series is over. It's not like I have a problem talking about the tribes. It's like, but by doing a series, it's like we had to.
Right. You can't do one without the rest.
Right. It's like, well, maybe I don't feel like talking about the Silverfangs.
There was a reason they were last.
But, but now we have to because it's the series.
Right.
It's like, I think it was that we have to that really bothered me about it.
Yeah.
It was just a fucking weight off my shoulders when it was over.
We drew them out of a hat, and we just got lucky the fact that Trollnagaya and Silverfangs were first.
Yeah,
and
the first two.
The first two were lucky to get them out of the way. And then the Silverfangs was the very first of the tribal curses. So it got pushed back, and it got pushed back, and it got pushed back, and it got pushed back.
Well, that was the thing, too, is whenever there was a problem with a tribal,
right,
that tribe just went to the bottom of the pile.
And then the bottom of the pile list, we just did the order we wanted to.
Okay, yeah. Yes, we did.
So it was like half.
But glad that was over.
Yeah, we had fun with them, with some of them. How about that?
Yeah.
Some of them it was just like, I need to research this and have this information. So we had something to talk about.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes. I mean, the books vary in quality and how interesting they are, how fun of a read they are. I had a blast with Red Talon.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But you learn new stuff, which is great too. But I think it was the fact that we had to do them really kind of...
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Especially on some of the tribes. Like, if you're not a fan of, Tribe X, you're not going to enjoy reading it.
I mean, that's true. Hopefully you learn so you get something out of it. And I think for a lot of them, that was the case for me. But again, it was that you have to do this one. It's like, don't tell me what I fucking have to do in my own show, goddammit. I'm going to do what I damn well please. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is my the studio's in my home.
Yes.
This is my table. You're on my couch. I will say what I want to. Don't tell me what I have to do, but we have to do them. And that was the thing.
Yeah. Better than our tribal episodes, though, was our Auspice series.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed those a lot.
Yeah, that was a different animal, yeah. Those were better.
Because, Galliard doesn't, I guess the word is, impress me as much as some of the other auspices.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still able to learn some things about it. So And to be able to learn those things about it helped better my own game, or our game.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, it's not what it's all about. I guess there's a lot of moving parts, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
And I guess I'm going to take us in a new direction for a second here.
Sure.
Loop back, or you, whoever. There's a fucking bumblebee. Let's get distracted. You know, is, you know, I go back to the community and how proud I am of the community, how much that helps us, how many ideas it forms, how great it is to hear different perspectives.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
How many times we've asked for episode ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, half of our episodes now are episode ideas from the community because that's what we said we wanted to do. You guys want to hear something, let us know.
Right? You know what I mean? That's why we always ask that feedback. You know, it's like, look, we want to put on the best show we know how to. Because, I mean, it's our show.
Right.
But
we also
for you guys.
But it's for, yeah, exactly. It's for you guys out there listening to the podcast. So if this is not what you wanted to hear, let us know and we won't do this again.
Yeah, right. Sorry about this time.
if it's which, you know, if you liked hearing it, there's maybe some more ideas that we've given you. Or do you like this banter? Hey, let us know that too.
Well, I kind of like the idea that this is a more personal show because it's just the two of us, you know, just talking. I mean, I like that in theory. I just hope it translates.
I hope so.
Because, I mean, I don't want to go anywhere. I love doing this.
Oh, no. This has been a part of my weekly life. This podcast, I mean, from Tuesday when we release the episode and then we ask and see how everyone reacts to it out on the Discord, we get the feedback and how people thought of the episode and the discussions it sprouts up. You know, just that's on Tuesdays.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it is. We've been doing it for what, almost
79 weeks.
Yeah, with the missing ones.
Okay, so 87 weeks.
We're talking about 2 years now. We're getting close to 2 years.
Pretty close.
And which is crazy to think about right now. We put a weekly show on just out of nowhere. You know, it's definitely a labor of love. I would love to do it full time.
Oh, you kidding me? If I quit my job and I would absolutely be producer, editor of this show, and maybe even a second show.
I was going to say I would start the second podcast.
We would do another podcast. Yes.
Absolutely.
I would.
I would love to.
Could quit my job and do that.
Right.
I'm trying to win the lottery. I promise. I'm really, really trying.
Keep on it, brother.
I only have so much money.
Well, we need all of it.
I know.
No, it's the thing, you know. More, you know, we want to get to as many people. So, I mean, we know that though. We want the more listeners. We want the more because we want to keep doing this. We want to keep sharing this with people. Fuck it, this is great. And you guys, you had to talk me. You worked your asses off to talk me into doing it.
Yes, we did.
I wasn't having it.
No, you were absolutely like, I'm not fucking I'm not doing a podcast to tell people what I know. And it was all about, well, I don't think there's another person out in this world who knows more than you.
Which was absolutely, that is absolutely not true.
That we knew. How about that?
There you go. You guys are like, well, we can't do it. Like, fucking, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to.
There was not enough information out there.
No, I mean, you were right. I don't remember what ultimately made me, flip that switch. But I'm certainly glad it did.
I'm glad you did too. Because
you guys really, you busted my balls for a while.
Yes, we did. A lot of it has to do with, like if these books were on Audible, maybe we wouldn't have this podcast.
That's true. If they were on Audible, we probably wouldn't. Because we wouldn't have needed the podcast.
Right. I was
just listen to the book.
Exactly. I was looking for a way to get the information, still be able to do my job, still be able to have my life, and not stop what I'm doing and just read. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't enough.
So we did it. We made it.
Go us. Look what we did.
From the fucking...
Look at what we did.
Right? Like from getting it set up, the website, the store...
Staff changes.
It's like it's a little surreal.
Yes.
We did it in the first place and then we're still going. We've had the setbacks. We've said fuck it and just broke them. Like, there's a hurdle. Just break it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Just move it out of the way. Fuck that thing.
It's a big deal. The podcast is a big deal. You guys out there listening to us is a big deal.
Yeah.
The community we've built, it's a big deal. Thank all of you.
Yeah, your support is everything. Because this is a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
And we could be playing video games or something right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we would have a solid 4 to 5 hour video game session instead.
All right. By the way, I so badly want this fucking RAI game team to start working to take off.
Oh,
okay. I want this, god damn it.
Okay.
I want a team to play Knockout City. I want a fucking... I love the idea of the Friday the 13th game, ideally going on sale, because it's like $14 now, which I think is worth it.
Sure.
But I don't like asking other people to spend money like that.
I know what you're saying.
You know, like if it goes on sale for $5, I don't feel bad.
Okay.
You know, it's like it's $5, $2. You can spare $2. I don't care.
And then everyone RAI playing.
Yeah, Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Right? That gives a lot of fuck. Well, you know.
I've watched it play a lot.
Think about a team game.
That would be hilarious.
Right? Like, who's going to be Jason this time? Look out. Tom's Jason. Let's fuck with him. Or, you know, whatever.
That would be a lot of fun.
It would be.
So look at patrons.
I didn't mean to make it a Patreon thing again. I really want that to happen.
No,
because I like hanging out with our fucking community.
No, I agree with you.
And I like gaming, so let's combine those, please.
Yeah, let's combine them. If there's only some kind of werewolf game we could do that with.
Dude, I don't have time to write for our games. Asshole.
Sorry.
Get out of my house.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
You know what? That's the end of the show now.
Okay.
Prick. You know what?
This went better than I expected it to, though. So
I've had fun doing it, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, we wanted to do something different this time.
This is definitely a little personal. This one, just to see how we feel about it. You guys out there, let us know how you feel about it.
And I mean, obviously, if you guys enjoyed it, I mean, that's awesome. Let us know. That doesn't mean we're changing formats and this is going to be every episode.
No.
But it might make us more inclined to every now and then
get a little personable.
Little personal. We're always personable.
Okay, damn it. You're right. I misspoke.
So you have to deal with, my God.
Yes, you're right. I am always a little personable.
You are.
I know.
I know what you're implying here, and I'm not taking...
Yeah, no, you're not doing it. All right, fine. No bite.
No, I'm not refuting you.
Okay, fair.
No, I'm a monster. Are you kidding?
Fine.
No, but we hope you enjoyed this little change of pace. I promise next week it's going to be totems. Actually.
Bill, just give it to him.
Just fuck it. Yeah, we're going to talk about totems next week. So it's going to be a regular show as usual, but we just thought instead of rushing to put something out before a deadline, which would have been a nightmare.
Absolutely nightmare.
Or...
I hate doing it.
And it would have been bad, too, because it would have been like you have 48 hours to turn this around.
Right. And I don't know how I could have.
So instead of doing something like that, or risk missing an episode, or putting out
something that we didn't want happening.
Right. Let's just try something new. So I hope you dug it. Got maybe a different look. I don't know what.
RAI.
Yeah.
Out there for you.
Rage across the internet, man. So, thank you guys so much for all of your support, for listening, for hanging out with us. And here's to another...
79.
Yep.
Another 79, and maybe more than that. We're pushing for it.
It's, I guess, long live RAI. I don't know what.
Long live RAI. Long
live
Ari.
Ari.
Damn it.
Long live Ari, everybody.
Rye. Long live RAI.
So, on behalf of me and my brother Davey Tyson here, we want to, thank you for listening. You take care of yourselves, take care of each other, keep your claws sharp and your heads on a swivel. We'll see you.